going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today, well, technically yesterday, or actually in the past couple days or so, I've hit 530,000 subscribers, past the iconic number, otherwise known as Frieza's power level in its first form. And it's funny, like, I had a good idea that I planned to do for like a 530k special. Initially, I wanted to do it for 500k, but that crept out really fast. And then I thought to myself, okay, I'll prepare for the 530k special. But the idea that I have is very what's the word? It's gonna take a lot of time to do. And because of that, I ended up pushing it off and brushed it off. And next thing you know, I'm at 530k, and now I can't actually do the video that I wanted to do for my special. So I think I'll save that for later. It's a video that's I feel like a lot of you guys are gonna like, but it's gonna take a lot of time to produce because it's not like one of those videos where I just sit down and talk in front of a camera and call it a day. So when that comes, you'll see it at some point in the future, maybe. Most likely, not just maybe, but yeah. But I still want to put something out because I mean, 530k is a big number because like everybody has their milestones in YouTube. Your first one is 1,000 subs. Hitting 1,000 subs to me was like the most amazing thing ever because the first 1,000 are always the most difficult to get. No matter what you're trying to grow, whether it's your social media on like Twitter or Instagram or YouTube subs, getting to the first 1,000 is always the most difficult. And then from there, the next one is probably like 5k, 10k, 25k, 50k, 100k. 100k I think is the biggest one just because that's when you actually get acknowledged from YouTube and you get a plaque and everything. And then after that, it's like 500k and a million. And then 5 million, 10 million. It kind of gets bigger and bigger every single time. But I feel like in our community in Dragon Ball, it's a little bit different. The numbers you want to actually celebrate probably, at least in my opinion, are 8,000 because it's over 8,000. Or I guess if you include the actual typo, the infamous typo, it's over 9,000. You can you can celebrate both. Another one that's infamous would probably be 530k, which is the Frieza power level in its first form. So that's why I want to do something special for that number, because that number means a lot. I mean, number one, Frieza is one of my favorite anime villains of all time. Probably actually characters as well. I love his character. He was just so vicious. He was a huge part of my childhood. One of my favorite villains to this day. So I wanted to celebrate something, but again, I had no idea what. So it's like, I'm just going to turn the mic on and talk, if that's okay. You know, it's cool to sit down and talk sometimes. I mean, I don't script my videos ever, but this is probably like the most unscripted video, if that makes sense. I mean, like I said, usually I sit down and I'll just turn the camera on and talk, but like literally right now, as I'm watching this number go from 529,000 to 530,000, I still had no idea what to do. So literally, it's like no plans. I don't know what's going to be in the background. I don't know how I'm going to even edit this video, or I don't know what's going to get uploaded this week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to upload it on Tuesday, which is when E3 is happening. I'm actually on my way to E3 today. If I post this on Tuesday to go check out Fighters, and hopefully I can get some content from that game sometime in the near future. But like, the thing is YouTube has been an interesting journey because my life has been all over the place for pretty much my entire life. I mean, to those who don't know, I am Bosnian. You know, I grew up in war. From there, you know, my parents managed to get away, so I lived in Germany for some time. And from Germany, we had an option of either going back home after the war was done or try something new. And my parents decided to try something else by going to America, to the United States of America. And you know, living here, going through language changes, language barriers, all that stuff to where I am today, it's just kind of crazy thinking about how much a person can accomplish. And like, that's probably why I look at stuff sometimes and think, you know what, whatever that goal is, I'm gonna go for it. And I want this video to be more about you guys than, you know, hitting 530k for myself. This is an accomplishment for all of us. So what I want to ask you guys right now is, in the comment section below, I want you to tell me one thing that makes you special, one thing that you want to do, one thing that you know you are going to accomplish, and I want you to write out into the universe. Because like, seeing the stuff that I went through and the obstacles I overcame, and life has gotten dark before in the past, life has hit me with roadblocks, but I still always went over them. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I want this to be more of a message that goes directly to you, that tells you if there's something out there you want to do in the world, to just go up there and pursue it. It's funny because like, like growing up, I always thought, okay, you know, you go to middle school, you go to high school, you go to college, and then you get a job, and then that's it. That's your life for like the rest of your life until you die, pretty much. Sounds kind of depressing, if I can be real with you. However, if it's something you enjoy, then I guess technically it's a win-win. But even when I was going to college, I still had no idea what I wanted to do. When I was in college, I got myself into the music industry. I worked a lot with music. I might have worked with some of your favorite artists out there that you might not even know about. And as I was getting to graduate college, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be trapped working for a record label, working in music. and I hate it. Like, I loved doing it at first, but then as like the more I did it, the more I started to hate it, and the more I wanted to get out of it. And at the time, I had created a podcast where basically I was able to just kind of turn the mic on and express myself and just be creative and just yell, you know, do the usual stuff just instead of video format. It was a podcast, and from there, you know, I realized that the creative outlet where I can just kind of make content, whether it's like, you know, a podcast or a video, was there, and I loved it. The problem was that podcast service I was using went out of business, didn't tell anybody, and then it crashed, gone forever, poof, that's it. And after I stopped doing that, it's like I was missing something, that makes sense. And I don't know what it was. There was something missing in my life, but I could never figure out what it was. But it wasn't until I moved to California for an internship where I found out that the YouTube world existed. I mean, I knew YouTube existed, but I never really thought about the idea of it existing to the point where you can share a passion with so many people across the world over something. And that something for us, obviously, is Dragon Ball. Because like what people don't realize is when I was a kid, I was always that guy that would not stop talking about Dragon Ball. Every single morning, I would go into my circle of friends and be like, hey, did you guys watch Dragon Ball Z last night? You see what freaking Gohan did? He went Super Saiyan 2, yada, yada, yada. And then, you know, I used to even research the stuff that was available in Japan and not in the US yet, you know, watching the movies, like watching Fusion Reborn in Japanese for the first time, before anybody in the US even knew existed, or technically before anybody in my school knew it existed. And then going to school the next day talking about it. Like, that was me. That was like me all the freaking time. So when I found out YouTube was a thing back in like 2011, I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I started making videos. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of putting videos out there. And as I started doing it, I realized, you know what? This is a familiar feeling. This is the same feeling I used to have when I was doing my podcast back in college. And the more I did, the more I loved it. I didn't care how many people watched, how many people interacted, how many people, you know, even just went to the videos. I just loved doing it. And that's the thing that got me into YouTube the most. But it wasn't until I did my first Dragon Ball video where I realized, oh my gosh, there's so many people out there that love Dragon Ball the same way I do. And I remember the first video I made was a Dragon Ball Z Rage and Blast video, or Dragon Ball Rage and Blast video. Dragon Ball Rage and Blast video, and after I did that one, I started doing more and more and more. And then the magic happened. Dragon Ball Battle of Gods was announced. They started announcing Resurrection F. The game started coming back. They were getting better than ever. My big one was Battle of Z at the time. When I started reporting on that, that kind of started getting me into the community more. It's a terrible, terrible game. It's a dark time, you know, we have to live through, but everybody has to go through these struggles with these games. And it was like when I realized that this community existed of people across the world that I can share this with, that's what made me love this even more. Like, I already loved doing YouTube, whether people watched it or not, but like when I realized that you guys actually existed, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so dope. And I just invested all my time in it. At the time, I had a terrible, terrible job, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to really think about it that much. It was very, very mentally draining. And basically my schedule, what it used to be every single day, was I would wake up every single day about 6:30 in the morning, go to work at 7, and I would be at work until 7. And then I would come back home, and a lot of times I would skip dinner because I would just be too busy to working on videos for the next day. And I would do videos the next day, or right after work, for the next day until about 1 in the morning. So basically my schedule every single day was from like 7 a.m. until 1 a.m. A lot of times skipping dinner, losing on sleep, but I wanted to do this. This is like something that I loved. It wasn't like a matter of, hey, if I do this, I'm going to succeed. It was more of a situation of, if I don't do this, I'm going to feel empty. I need to do this. And that's why I started pushing YouTube so much. Fortunately enough for me, it worked. So when I was able to get in a situation where I can get out of that job and do this as a full-time thing, it paid off in the end ultimately. But like doing that every single day for 3 years straight without missing a single day was a lot of work. But again, it paid off in the end. And the reason why, you know, I did it is because I knew I could. And again, the thing that I want to really push in this video is, if there's something you want to do out there for love of God, don't listen to anybody. If it's your parents telling you otherwise, you know, you should do this, this, and that, but you personally know you don't want to do that, then go do that one thing you want to do. A good example is my good friend Kagi. Let's talk about Kagi for a second. Big shout out to Kagi. Kagi used to go to school, I believe, for animation. I'm not really sure what the specifics were, but he used to go for animation. He loved it at some point, but just like with me in the music industry, he, I guess, learned to not like it as much, and he realized his big passion was going to be pursuing voice acting. And I remember we used to always tell him, like, look, man, take the leap. Do what you have to do. Screw what anybody says. Just take the leap, go do it, and make it happen. And what did this man do? He did. he did exactly that. He ended up, I don't know if he dropped out of college or just finished the year and then, just didn't go back or what the deal was, but he moved to Texas. He started picking up voice acting gigs from Funimation, and now he's done some of the biggest shows that Funimation has produced. Like, this is what you gotta do. You have to believe in yourself. A lot of times, what you'll probably realize in life is everybody's going to be against you. Everybody will want you to fail something and not actually succeed. But as long as you're believing in yourself, that's the most important part. And that's what I want you guys to understand is you guys can accomplish anything that is out there that you want to do. And that's what I want you guys to go out there and do. And again, I want you to start right now. I've said this in my videos before where I ask you guys what is it you guys want to do, but this is like the actual starting point. In the comment section below, I want you guys to write what makes you special, what it is that you are passionate about, what is it that you want to do, and go for it. Tell me how you're going to do it. In fact, I want you guys to actually keep me in check, because what I love is when you guys talk to me, like on Twitter, for example, and you keep me updated. For example, a couple months ago, I had people tweeting me like, I don't think I'm going to graduate. And I remember I would respond and say stuff like, you know what, you got this. You'll be fine. Just hang in there, keep your head up, take it a day at a time, and you will succeed, I promise you. And then I had like the biggest smile on my face this past month, or actually last month in May, when these exact same people were telling me that they weren't going to succeed, weren't going to pass college, were sending me pictures, hanging out with their friends in their graduation outfits, succeeding. And like, I'm actually getting all tingly just like remembering this again. This is such a really happy moment that, I watched unfold in front of me. And like, being able to watch you guys grow is amazing. And I remember it too. Like, the more you guys talk, the more I remember. And I'm going to be there with you guys from step one to the final step to the next step. So what I want you all to do is do that one thing that you want to pursue. Don't let anybody stop you. If someone tells you your idea is silly, they're absolutely wrong. You'll make it work. Unless you are talking about, like, being a magician or something and having magical powers and stuff. You probably can't do that. But you'll figure out an alternative to make that actually work, if that makes sense. Just get out there, pursue what it is that you want to do, and just make it happen. And let's all do it together. And I want you guys to embrace each other as well. I don't want you guys to knock each other. I know we tend to get heated as a community when we disagree. We tend to, toss out words that we don't necessarily mean at each other, put each other down. But that's just the heat of the moment. At the end of the day, this is our community. These are our people. The last thing we should ever do is stomp out each other's dreams, stomp out each other's hopes, stomp out each other's passions. Because we all want the same thing, and that is to achieve that one thing in life that we want to do. So that's kind of what I want to send as a message out in this video, if that makes sense. Now, it's not really much of a 530K special. Like I said, I don't even know what I'm going to have in the background of this video. I literally just sat down in front of my mic. I had nothing in my mind. I just hit the record button. I figured, you know what? I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to pull out a geekdom over here, do my own version of speakdom, essentially, and just kind of talk the first thing that comes to my mind. At some point, I will probably try to work on that actual video that I was talking about, if I can get it to work. And, it looks good on paper, but I don't know how successful the video is going to be when it comes down as a final product, because a lot of work will go into it. And when you see it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, why it was so difficult to pull off. But that's the thing in the future. You know what? I'm going to accomplish that. That's my goal, is to accomplish that. But for right now, I want to say thank you. Whether you watch my videos only once, whether you don't even subscribe, but you just happen to click the video and recommend it, or if you want to come in a video and tell me why, I'm garbage or whatever, it's okay. Everybody's allowed to speak their opinion. I don't want everybody to feel like they can't say, what it is in their mind, even if it's something, negative towards me. I want you guys to always express yourself, and that's important. Get out there, be yourself, do what you want to do, succeed, push yourself into the next level, ascend to Super Saiyan 3, 4, 5, blue, I don't care. Just get out there and do what you want, and that's the most important message that I want to get across over here. Thank you very much for 530K subscribers. Hopefully we can keep growing and take it to the next level and do more fun content over the course of the next couple years. I have no plans of stopping anytime soon, so don't worry about that. Thank you very much. My name is Rhymestyle. I'll see you guys in the comment section below. Peace.